going, y'all? What is happening? See, we got some people already in here. The comments are already popping a little bit. So I see a couple usuals in here. See Fifi 24 HGF. What's going on? But I'm going to go ahead and let more people come on in. Either way, I am glad to have you guys in this live space tonight. We're going to have a pretty good discussion and conversation. And we're going to be talking about the topic that you all voted on. So I'll just give it a couple minutes and let people come on in. But there is a lot to discuss before we get into all of this. So a couple different things, just as a preliminary, and giving you all the stuff that's going on in the background before we talk about tonight's topic. As you all know, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. I'm going to be doing my Built by Us history. I can't talk today. Built by Us, a history of Black Wall Streets. It's a lecture that I'm going to be doing here live on YouTube. For those of you all who want to join, you can go ahead and email me. I will put my email in the chat. And if you don't need any further questions or assistance, then you can just cash at me 20 at $Cool Colas. So let me go ahead and give you all my email first of all. And then if you guys are just ready, you can go ahead and just cash at me and we can just go from there. And when I do the class on Saturday, I'll go ahead and I'll just send that link over to you once I got everything set up and whatnot. But I got some other videos coming for you. I got a video on Friday, and that should be another video, a part of the Is This Wrestler Racist series. So I'll have that tomorrow. And then I want to let you all know real quick in advance, the week of August and September, I'm not going to be doing any videos. I'm not going to be doing any lives that week because that's actually the week of my birthday. So I'm going to be throwing some videos on there for you to enjoy. But outside of that, I won't be able to do, any like live videos or anything like that. So I just wanted to share that with you all before we get into tonight's topic. All right. So for those of you all who are here, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Today's topic is Black America going overboard? Mourning Hayden Panettiere. This is the topic y'all voted on, and we are going to go ahead and get into it. I see we have a bunch of comments. Jermaine Taylor, what's going on? Let's see here. There's a couple other statements. Let's see what people are saying. It's sad when anyone takes their own life, especially Black people. They are milking this because she's white and blonde. Justice for Nolan Wells. This is for FIFA. No one gets more media coverage than the FBA celebrity that dies. They show our funerals on TV. Loved Hayden. She was amazing. Whatever this video was about, it should be respectful. Was Hayden Panettiere a racist? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of different comments. So for today's topic, one of the reasons why I want to talk about this is because this was a topic that was heavily buzzing all over the internet. And, I wanted to go ahead and give my 2 cents on it because there's a couple different messages and lessons that can be learned from this. And one of the things that you all know about me from just looking at my videos is that I'm big, not necessarily on just covering a story, but giving the overall message and lesson that comes from it from the pro-Black perspective. So once I don't even know this girl, shout out to the Cool Click though. Shout out to you, Mr. Bolden. But going back. So so I wanted to just take some time to give my perspective. I was seeing some of the comments before I even talked about this topic, and everybody was saying, oh no, what did Hayden Panettiere do? Was she racist? What racist thing did she do? Oh, this is all horrible. You're saying she did some stuff. It's a reach. It's a reach. And I'm like, calm down, y'all. Calm the hell down. No one's out here denigrating your snow angel. Shit. Calm the hell down. You don't even know what the topic is about. So when I first saw that, I'm like, damn, y'all already came to conclusions before I even told you what this was going to be about in this discussion. But anyway, with that being said, so for those of you all who don't know and have just been living under a rock at this point, you probably don't know that Hayden Panettiere recently passed away. And there's been a lot of media coverage on it. If you look at Hayden Panettiere, a lot of people have been saying stuff about how, a lot of us who are millennials, I'm a millennial myself, and I believe she was around my age even as well too. We grew up on her and all sort of stuff because she's been in a lot of different movies and shows, because she's been in Remember the Time, because she was the little girl. I think her name was Cheryl. She was that character. She was in that Bring It On movie where she had to basically go to school in the hood because her parents, some happened, like their funds was real crazy. Something happened with that. And then there was Heroes, and a lot of the Blurred family and just nerds in general just liked Heroes, and that was kind of like their start into getting into the whole hero space and whatnot. So there was that, and then she was in the show Nashville. So somebody said, yep, and she also was in The Guiding Light. That's correct. So she was in a lot of different things. So I definitely distinctly remember Hayden Panettiere. I actually think that she's a cute white girl, or was a cute white girl. So I think that, looks wise, she was cool. But as far as like her acting and all this other stuff, I mean, she was just another actress. I didn't really think anything too crazy about her. I didn't think she was great. I didn't think she was like horrible. I just thought she was kind of just there, but she was all right, but regardless, I think the idea that she passed away is sad. I will say that Black people mourning Hayden Panettiere, it's I think that it's acceptable. I don't see anything wrong with mourning her, like just flatly saying, hey, rest in peace. I'm sad that she passed away. It sucks that she passed away. And then when you hear her tragic story and stuff like that, it makes sense why other people would not really be sitting right with what happened, because she had a lot going on. There were issues with her and drugs. There was issues with her and being she wasn't even groomed. She was more like trafficked, from what I hear. And she released this memoir about 3 months before her death or whatever, where she talked about some of the stuff that went on in the industry. And she also talked about, the abuse from her boyfriend. And I'll say this as well, too. Y'all know I'm on the pro-Black thing. But for me, it does not matter what race of the woman it is. If a woman is getting beat by a man, I think that's some bitch ass shit. And I'm not down with that. So for me, like, my whole thing is this. My whole thing is, I think that was some fucked up shit, and it's clear that she went through a lot of stuff. So that's the kind of the long and short of the beginning of it. But with that being said, do I think that Black people are going overboard with their mourning? Yes, I think that Black people are absolutely going overboard, and I'm going to tell you why I feel that way. So I've been seeing a lot of stuff with Black people basically talking about how, she is forever ingrained into Black culture, and talking about how, when it came to her, everybody in the Black community was familiar with her and grew up and loved her and adored her. And she's the most famous white person ever and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, listen, I when y'all were saying that you felt bad for her because of her struggles in life, I was with you. When y'all said rest in peace to her, I was with you. When you said that her death was sad, and even when you all were mad at the bitch ass boyfriend who was beating her ass, I was with you on that. I was totally with you on that. But where y'all lost me is when you started talking about how deep she was into Black culture. That's where y'all lost me, because what I noticed, and this is just from my perspective, a lot of the Shea Butter Samba crew and some of these tethers really got into spewing that type of shit online, because a lot of them were kind of getting into this whole thing where they were like, I'll even tell you about this. So there was one time, I think it was a couple days ago, where I was taking a nap, and I heard this video, and it was this video my wife was listening to, right? And there was this Black woman, I guess, that was making the video, and she was going on a crash out tirade or some shit talking about how she's tired of the black community, the pro-black community, that is, and the super niggas who are into this thing of denigrating black people whenever they bring up, you know, saying rest in peace to a white person or honoring them. And I'm like, shut your ass up. Okay, like the jojoba oil is real heavy right now. I need you to just shut the hell up for a second. Because the thing is, none of us are going around saying that it's bad for you all to basically say rest in peace to Hayden Panettiere. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? But what you don't do is sit there and use that as a situation to attack us who are like on code, us who are pro-black. We're just calling out the idea that you niggas are milking it at this point, because you are. I mean, it's cool to say rest in peace and to just move on from the situation, but not necessarily to go on and on the way you all are doing. And it's gone so far as to, for those of y'all who do not know, Ebony Magazine even like put out like a piece on Hayden Panettiere in their actual magazine. So I'm sitting there like, this shit is just crazy to the like they're taking it so far to the point where they're trying to say that she's a part of Black history. They're trying to act like she's like a white female Martin Luther King or some shit. The way that they're basically treating her is the same way that they treated Betty White. Because when Betty White had passed away, they were basically doing the exact same thing. Damn, somebody else talked about Betty White. I didn't even see the comments until now. Like, great minds think alike, Brandon. I was literally just thinking about Betty White. But yeah, they were just they're acting like she was like their white savior, because you even had some of them that were basically going on talking about how, oh, she did all this stuff. She always spoke for social justice with Black people, like during the George Floyd thing. Here's the thing. All types of liberal white folks were advocating for for Black people, and talking about how what happened to George Floyd was wrong, whether they were liberal or conservative. All of these motherfuckers were doing that because they used it as a trend. And a lot of them, and I've talked about this when it came to WWE wrestlers, but a lot of them were using that as a way to basically clean up their racist past. I'm not saying that that's what Hayden Panettiere was doing, because truth be told, I don't have anything on her actually being racist one way or another. However, a lot of WWE wrestlers who did racist shit were going and they were doing the same thing. They were going on and saying, this is awful, this is hatred, this is this, this is that, but don't say shit else when another Black person gets unalived. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I did not hear Hayden Panettiere ever talk about anybody such as Tamir Rice. I didn't hear her talk about Sandra Bland. I didn't hear her talk about Ahmaud Arbery. Hell, I didn't hear her talk about Nolan Welsh, because she was alive for that shit. I'm just saying. My point, though, is that like these types of things are the things that people miss because they're cherry picking so that they can, you know, save their what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to hype up and put and pedestalize, you know, a white person who they want to honor. Really, what it is it's a form of Stockholm syndrome. But here's the thing, though. A lot of people are like, well, she wasn't racist. She wasn't like abusive to the Black community. She wasn't disrespectful. So how is it Stockholm syndrome? The thing is, they crave white acceptance no matter who it is. It's just easier and more palatable for them to do it when it's somebody who hasn't done anything that's openly egregious. So a white person can just be a basic white person, and they're like, all right, they basically are a milky Luther King Jr. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, like, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Hayden Panettiere or her family or anybody like that. I'm just simply making the point that a lot of us have that stop. A lot of us, when I mean a lot of us, I mean the Sambo class who just literally does this shit because this is what they do. They are pedestalizing white people because they crave white acceptance, because you had a lot of them who were basically, you know, inviting her to the cookout. Some of them were even going as far as to say is her family was partially Black or Black. And I'm like, you Sambo ass Negroes have lost your damn minds. That shit was just crazy to me. Let me go to these comments because I see y'all saying a lot of shit up in here. Hold up. Let's see here. Jojoba. Hold on. Mr. Bowden said Jojoba oil is wild. I'm telling you, it's some shea butter Sam Bet shit going on. Because when I heard that, because my wife was listening to the video And I heard her, she's like, yo, the lady in the video was like, you niggas always got something to say every time we say something about some white people. Fuck you, niggas. And I'm like, don't nobody want to hear that hood rat babble. Shut the hell up. Like, it just irritated me. But let's see here. What else does somebody do? Okay, Kylon Bale 123. Shout out to you for the 2 jewels. Much appreciated, family. Let's see here. And then we got Grim 9872. Shout out to you. White liberals do this all lives matter nonsense. They do. They do. And they like to do a lot of covert and slick ass shit. They like to get, you know, down with black folks or whatever. And first of all, they like to act like they're with black people by saying something that seems codified. And then they get real passive aggressive and weird when you actually hang around them on the regular. That's one of the things I noticed. They like to do a lot of slick shit, and they like to hide behind the idea that they are woke. And I put that in quotations, and y'all know why. To make it seem like they are with black people, but they'll do a lot of slick ass shit when you're around them. Trust me. I worked with these motherfuckers for almost 10 years. I know how they operate. Let's see here. That's sad. That's that Samboism is at an all-time high. It is. It's ridiculous. Microaggressions. That's what they do. They do a lot of slick ass microaggressions. Then they act weird when I warm up my Popeyes in the work cafeteria. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like they wait for opportunities to insert race into the conversation, you know, because they like to say little slick shit, and they want you to be the one to initiate it so they can keep going with the racist bullshit. So white liberals like to do that type of shit. So yeah, I've definitely noticed that. What else? Shout out to Code SM96. Bro is always spitting facts. I'll be seeing your comments, bro. You be spitting facts in a lot of the videos that I have. So I see you in here too. I am sick of my people desperate for white approval and treat white people as heroes for saying one point against racism that many of us have suffered. Exactly. That's really what it is. They wait for token gestures, or really them just being a basic ass white person, and then they hold them in high esteem. To a lot of these Sambos and Sambets, a lot of them pedestalize white people as long as they don't do anything racist. They don't have to like do anything that's codified or do anything that helps black people, or even do that one gesture. If they do that, it's a plus and it's a bonus, right? But they're willing to break out the buttermilk biscuits even if they are just being their fucking selves. You know, with Hayden Panettiere, a lot of them are acting like, you know, she was some type of, again, social justice warrior, but I don't recall her being like this big stand-up person for black causes and black needs all the time. As a matter of fact, a lot of the people she even associated with, if they were black, were usually like on set of something, like they were working together or they're in the industry or that type of thing. Because people are like, she's always around black people. And I'm like, she worked with them. Like, what the fuck you mean? She was working with Solange and folks like that and Denzel Washington. Like, she was working with these people. What you mean? So, yeah. Let's see here. That's that Uncle Ruckus type shit. It is. Like I said, I want to keep driving this home because I thought I saw a comment. Somebody said I was being soft, and no, I ain't being soft. I'm just I was preparing the story before I actually got into the meat. So no, you mistook that because you didn't listen long enough. But no, my point is there's nothing wrong with you know, honoring somebody or basically saying rest in peace or whatever the case is. I don't have no problem with that. My whole issue again is the Samboing and this is a member of black society and this person is invited to the cookout, because they were like Essence, from what I heard, and definitely Ebony Magazine was definitely on that shit. So and there's a lot of like kind of mystery around what happened with Hayden Panettiere, and that's another you know, thing that we need to talk about. So one of the things, and this is a low-key thing nobody is really discussing, and I think people just really don't want to go into that because they think it's really disrespectful, but it's done to black people all the time, and that's that there was a lot of degeneracy in her life, like around her. I'm not even just talking about necessarily her, because I said that, you know, she was on the drugs and there was other stuff that was going on with that and whatnot, because I know there was like an opioids issue and there was some addiction shit. and some other stuff and whatnot. But the people around her just were not good people, is my point. Because she had issues with her mom. She had the boyfriend who was abusive. I saw a video that was being shared online where there was like a fight or something like that was going on. I don't know if it was a bar fight and her and the boyfriend were involved in it. And I also saw like some other stuff that kind of, I guess, was going on. But my point though is that a lot of people are overlooking the fact that there is a lot of white degeneracy that always gets swept under a rug. And when somebody basically loses their life, they try to act like it's a big tragedy that they shouldn't talk about. It's always talking about shit we do here and there, the degenerate shit about, black people, hip hop culture, 1350 and all this other bullshit. But see all the stuff that happens in their culture. Again, it's not about Hayden per se. It's about the people around her, because they're more of a testament to when you hang around folks in the dominant society, look how they treat their own, like all this shit was basically going on, and all the stuff they always talk about how black people are doing here and there, all that shit was going on around Hayden Panettiere. So people are ignoring that because they're like, well, we need to be respectful because it's her death, and this and that. But the thing is that like there's a lot of degeneracy in their culture. Her parents were controlling. They were controlling. They were misers and they were evil. Like, and that's what I said. I'm not denying that she went through some shit, because she definitely did. Like she, the thing is that like some of it could be understandable, because there was even one interview where she looked like, she might've been drugged out or whatever the case is. And I'm just like, damn, like baby girl is down bad. But my point though, is that like, there's a lot of degeneracy that was around her. She had a lot of bad and evil people that like she dealt with and who, she was around in the industry. And I think that played a major role in shit that was happening. And I mean, even if people want to say, oh, that was Hollywood. I mean, look at her damn boyfriend. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the TMZ interview, and that's a whole nother thing. In the TMZ interview, there was a point where the boyfriend was talking about how, one of the things that he did to her was he told her, I'm gonna give you a head start. And I don't know if he said 15 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't remember how many seconds he said, but he said, I'm gonna take this phone and I'm gonna chuck it at you. And I'm like, this is the shit I'm talking. That's some degenerate, fucked up ass shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's just this straight up abuse. These types of things go on in their community, and they try to act like it doesn't. Like, to me, that was, because when I heard, I was like, damn, that was really fucked up. That was really, really fucked up. But it's like, that tells you a lot about them, that in things that they don't want you to, know about them or put a spotlight on. And we don't necessarily do it while the person has passed away, because we don't want to sound insensitive. And even in this conversation, I'm not trying to sound insensitive either, but it is important for us to kind of look at these things, because there's always a spotlight on us or our people when they're doing something or the things that they're involved with. There's not this empathy and all this other stuff about and grace, towards what happens with us, because again, every community has their degenerates, but when the dominant society has their own shit that's going on, they like to act like that shit is not going on whatsoever. See, black people, we will call out when we are doing something that is, scurvy, doing something that is, again, degenerate or whatever the case is. And we call out when other people do too. The dominant society will call us out on shit, especially shit that they caused for us, but won't point out their own shit. That's the problem. Let's see. Yes, they are going overboard. Yep. I just think people are going overboard. I think it was when it was like a simple rest in peace, talking about how horrible it was. I think that was fine. But this whole, she's etched into the black community shit, that's some bullshit. Let's see here. She can refuse to do it. It's simple, but they will do some strange for some change. Damn. See, y'all are going even harder, because I even gave her grace. I said she could have been going through some shit, and it seems like she was. And the stuff that she said, I believe her, because she had some horrible parents. Her boyfriend was real fucked up. People around her in the industry were doing crazy shit to her. I think that she just had poor discernment in general because there were just a lot of people who were around her who just were, not good people and treated her like trash to the point where she probably felt like her way to cope was to take drugs. Again, it's not an excuse. I'm just saying that I can tell that she was just had poor discernment and she was around a lot of bad people. Maybe not necessarily a bad person herself, but she was around a lot of bad people. But again, I think if we're looking at the racial component of this, it shows that degeneracy can happen in any community. And that's what a lot of us who are pro-black have been saying about the dominant society. But a lot of them are basically, they're treating accountability like it's kryptonite. I told you all, they love mayonnaise, but they hate accountability. That's how they operate. They love to operate in a system of white supremacy, sweeping shit that they do under a rug or trying to pass it off as something else or trying to deflect to us, while also at the same time having things happen in their own community with their own people. So yeah, that's the thing that people don't really want to touch on though, because they're like, oh, she just passed away, this and that. And it's like, you ain't got to talk about her, but look at the people around her. Like the people around her are enough evidence that shit was going on in their community. Let's see here. Let's see. How convenient. Not before. They do not like being called a racist either. Finna only kill Floyd when he got choked. Let's see. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like he literally, the problem was that he got choked. That was the problem with George Floyd. Nothing more, nothing less. She has never been in a Tyler Perry movie or won a BET award, period. Exactly. So how was she etched into black culture? And I understand with BET, it's not really a black company, right? It's not a black company at all. But at the same time, to your point, she hasn't really been in black films and a lot of that type of stuff. So black people, again, are just attaching themselves to a white person who just simply hasn't openly done anything that's racist or anything that they can point out as racist. So they say, oh, she's a hero. Like that's what they're on. Let's see, teach black man, teach it. I'm telling you, this is the truth. I mean, I just think that and we need to call out Sambos like this, because a lot of them are going to do that. They're going to hold a lot of these folks in the dominant society in high esteem. They're going to do this thing where if they see an actor or actress who were in films that they liked or and whatnot, and they don't know anything about their life, or they only know like bites of their life, they're going to act like they were the best shit smoking if they didn't do anything that was super egregious. And again, it goes back to the whole Betty White thing. They were on the same tip. If anything, this was a little worse, but like they were on the same tip there. And a lot of people basically were like, well, what's so great about Betty White that you all want to celebrate her like she was a part of the community? And y'all are going back and saying, oh, she she was invited to the cookout and stuff like that. So I don't know, it was just a lot going on with that, y'all. Let's see here. Tatum is a waste of space. Yeah, I mean he's definitely a first class Sambo. I mean, and I think that he's a Sambo who's hustling, to be honest with you. There's some Sambos who just like accidentally just love the buttermilk biscuits, and then there's niggas like him. I think he's like a different case. You know what I mean? I think he's even. I think that he's like Jesse Lee Peterson, because to me it's almost like cartoonish, like it's like almost like a caricature that he's playing, because it's almost to the point where he's not even just in touch with reality. Like you almost think that these types of individuals are mentally ill because they're playing the role so goddamn well. Let's see here. I see some people coming in. That's weakness. That's why we keep getting disrespected by other races. They know the majority of us care about their acceptance and validation. Exactly. And that's why I always say that we need to call out not just what's really going on, but we also need to call out the Sambos as well too, because there's a lot of them running around that are pedestalizing these white folks, y'all. So again, I think that the problem here is that you see a lot of people, especially and again, in this case, the Shea Butter Samba class and a lot of these tethers that are going in and are basically saying that, these white people are always a part of black culture and we all accept it, this person or that person, because there's a lot of people saying that. With Hayden Panettiere, you had like some of these tethers that were saying that we as black people have always accepted Hayden Panettiere. And I'm like, first of all, who the fuck is we? Second, there's some people who don't even know who Hayden Panettiere is. I do because I watched some of the shit that she was in. Like, I wasn't a big Heroes person, so I didn't really see it like that, but I knew she was in it. You know, I saw the Bring It On movie, and then I saw Remember the Titans, right? But, you know, some people don't know who she is. And some of y'all, I'm like, how the hell did you grow up on her? Like, some of y'all were somewhere eating some goddamn agusi soup in Africa. Like, what you mean, like, we? Like, so that's the first problem with that. The second problem is, like, y'all are not even really pointing to what she has done. You know, a lot of people are going on the whole George Floyd thing, but again, like, that's like a low-hanging fruit type of thing, because a lot of white folks, whether they were conservative or liberal, were on that shit where they were acting like they gave a fuck about the unaliving of George Floyd, when that was far from the case. Tatum is making mega bucks. You already know, bro. Like, Tatum is hustling. I like, because whenever I see like a Sambo who is so Sambo-ish that it just feels weird and off, like you're thinking, like, is this motherfucker like mentally ill? Like, is there something wrong with them? Like, do they have like issues? Like, the first thing that comes to my mind is they're hustling. There's no way they could be that goddamn dumb. They have to be hustling. Hey, Cool Colas in chat. Liquid Sunshine, what's going on, sis? How you doing? Isn't your event? Yes, my event is on Saturday. It's Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I have to say that because some of you all are coming from different areas. There's brothers from the UK in here. So Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Yes, that's when it's going on. Let's see here. Today, facts. Yeah, no, not today. On Saturday. Yep. And I'm gonna make another announcement on it on Friday, just so people know. So if you want to basically, like, I think you said you probably won't be able to make it, but like, if you do want to come to the event, you know, I'll put information there again, so anybody can message me real quick and we can get you signed up so that you can attend. Let's see. Mayonnaise apologist. Yeah. Let's see here. Free Palestine. What's somebody here? Somebody here said, I don't think people are going overboard. If you like her work, you just like it. But I think it's also the shock that they'll take their own. And that's the thing too. With that, I even have to say allegedly, because a lot of people are speculating that, you know, most likely the boyfriend, or her on and off boyfriend. That's another thing. Her on and off boyfriend and the brother, I guess, like, maybe had something to do with why she's not here. And a lot of them are speculating it because there was a recent, I guess, post or something like that where she said that she was making plans for her birthday trip. So if it was really her taking herself out, and, you know, it was really about you know, like, her being so depressed she couldn't be here anymore, and she wanted to basically unalive herself, you know, that she wouldn't have been trying to make birthday plans. So that's what a lot of people are speculating. But to your point, though, about you don't think that people are going overboard, I think that I disagree. And the reason why I disagree is because of the fact that etched into the Black community, and, you know, let's make a think piece on her in Ebony magazine, and also that's overboard. That's overboard to me. I don't think saying RIP is overboard. I think doing like she's a part of the Black community and saying, oh, well, you know, her family is half Black, like, that shit is way fucking overboard. Like, and no question about it. No question about it. Let's see. What are some people saying here? He's been fully indoctrinated indeed. Let's see. I think the reason why Black people liked her or speak about her is because they have white friends that brought it up to them. I mean, that could be it, but I mean, it's still not an excuse to be Samboing. It's still not an excuse. By the way, for those of you all who are here, I know some of y'all have done it. I'd appreciate it if y'all hit the super chat. Please hit the super chat if you are really enjoying tonight's discussion. Just want to say that real quick. What else? Somebody said, when a Gen X or millennial dies, it reminds us of our youth, but also the fact that we aren't immortal. Yeah, but you got to look at the racial components of it, right? And because that's really what I'm talking about. You know, going and saying they're etched into the Black community, they're forever stamped and all this other stuff. That's Sambo shit. Okay, that is Sambo shit. That I don't fuck with that. But again, like the whole rest in peace to her, you know, being sad and being like, oh, I grew up on her and stuff like that. Yeah, I can understand that because again, I grew up watching a lot of stuff that she was in. But yeah, no, not the pedestalization. I can't get down with that. I have never heard of hers. I seen her movie. She was, or I never heard of her. I seen movies she was in. Never knew her name. Crazy, she's gone so young though. She was very young. She was very young to have basically been taken out of this world as early as she was. I agree with that. You know, and again, I do think that it's sad, and I think that she had a crazy life. I'm not denying that whatsoever. Let's see here. She ain't got no type of black in her. None. Like, that's why I said that's Sambo shit. Because where are you getting that she was black at all from? That is not like you do see what I'm saying? Didn't her brother die recently too? Yes, he did. So but and the thing is a lot of people are like, I feel for her mother and stuff like that. I'm like, her mother wasn't shit from what I hear, you know. So don't feel for her because like it's clear that she was on some shit as well. So I don't feel for her, you know, for the people who are going around saying that. But yeah, her brother did die. And so they both died young. They both did. Let's see here. They can't get enough of the Becky. They can't. They can't. Look, it's kind of overboard. Let's see. I genuinely was confused. Thought she was mixed, but she was just tan white, bro. Jonathan, you really thought that Hayden Panettiere was partially black? Like for real? Like you really thought she was partially black? Please tell me you trolling. I usually don't like trolling, but I hope to God you're trolling right now. You really thought she was partially black? Like really? Like what told you that? A blonde hair, blue eyed, no ass white woman? Like you thought that she was partially black, bro? Let's see here. Her mother didn't even. Yeah, like why feel bad for the mama? You didn't even like her. You treat her like shit. Come on, man. She looks like she could be Italian. I don't know, but folks, stop the BS reaching with the black shit. She just doesn't look black. She doesn't. I get the Guinea shit with Italians, but she just doesn't look black. Hell, she don't even look Italian to me. She looks like your everyday average Anglo white woman. Let's see here. Let's see. I was genuinely trolling. It was an intrusive thought. Okay. Oh, thank God. I was about to say, bro. Like I didn't know if you was because I can't really read typing in text. I was about to say, bro, like what is you on? But no, okay, got you though. Got you. Let's see here. Not to be off topic, but they gave BFAB and Mishin flack, but they praised Tiffany and Maxine Dupree. Don't even get me started on them. Like we already know that Mayonnaise Barbie is mid. Maxine Dupree is also she's not even mid. She just sucks. She's pretty, but she sucks. Let's see here. Going back, what did Liquid Sunshine say? Okay, that's good. I'll make that thing. Cool. Liquid Sunshine, if you're still in the chat, sis, do me a favor, email me. Oh, you already sent it. Okay, cool. Bet. Appreciate you. I'm gonna go check that out real quick. But yeah, when it comes to the whole Hayden Panettiere thing, y'all, there's a lot of like cryptic shit that happened with that. But again, what it exposes is what goes on in their community. But if you shroud that with a bunch of emotion and all this other stuff, then you're not really going to look into it. But I mean, just look at the way, you know, that things happen with her family, how all that went down. Hell, you don't even have to look at her. Look at people like Jeanette McCurdy. I don't know if any of you all I got a Liquid Sunshine. I appreciate you. Very much appreciated. But going back though, think about Jeanette McCurdy. I don't know if any of you all ever watched iCarly. Jeanette McCurdy was the blonde hair white girl who played Sam. She was like the tomboy character. She was like the side character, like Carly's best friend or whatever. She had some shit that went on with her family as well too. They like matter of fact, Jeanette McCurdy, she made a book. And in that book, I don't know if you all knew this, but she made a book that was called I'm Glad My Mother Died or some shit like that. Like she was happy that her mom basically was gone. And a lot of people are saying it's the industry, but I mean, if you look at the crux of what happened, it's like this happens a lot with the dominant society. They act like we're just dysfunctional. A lot of their families are extremely dysfunctional, but nobody wants to call that shit out. She exposed her mom. She did, because them bitches were evil. You know, they were evil. But that's why I said they act like a lot of them people in their communities don't do shit like that. They're like one big classy decorum having ass family, and their asses have a lot of ghetto shit as well too. Let's see here. Did Jeanette McCurdy date Andre Drummond once? I don't know. I think I heard about that. Hold on, let me see. Yes. They briefly dated in September of 2013. Yes. To answer your question, ML Kid 9. Let's see here. I think the overpricing is about white acceptance more than anything. Some black think that giving her a cookout invite will make white folks like them. That is another thing too. It's for white acceptance for sure. I agree 100%. Shout out to you, Stuns 500 Joules Power Potion. Much appreciate. Much appreciated. All right. So another thing too I noticed is the same type of hype that, you know, they gave Hayden Panettiere, they don't give some of these black stars who pass away. Like, for example, a lot of y'all probably don't know this, but there was a black star who recently passed away in August, actually, and her name was Christy Knowles. Have y'all ever heard of her before? Christy Knowles. Christy Knowles was let me see if I can get a picture of her real quick. But she passed away. She was a sister. Hold on. I think that's what her name was. Christy Knowings. I don't know why I called her Knowles. Knowings. I'm thinking about Beyonce and shit. Christy Knowings. That was her name. I was trying to pull up a picture of her if you all have not seen her before, but I think she was like 46, by the way, and she passed away. Let me see if I can drop this into the chat. Just give me a second here. But let's see here. Gonna go ahead and okay. I hate when it does that. So I don't know if you all ever do this, but like sometimes when I be saving images, like it'll do this thing where it'll say like web BP and then it won't upload in some formats. I hate that bullshit. Like I was trying to download the image so that you all could see what I'm talking about, and it did that. Hold on one second. Let's try this out. Okay. Y'all remember her? Christy Knowings. So so she was on all that, right? She was on all that. She was on Sesame Street. She was on let's see, the girl with the in the thumbnail. She was on New York Undercover. She was on a whole bunch of stuff, basically. A troll entered the chat. Bro, you were a clown. We don't get your troll ass up out of here. So how about that? So if you think I'm a clown, then you can get out of a clown space. How about that? You can get the fuck out of here. You probably are a white supremacist. You was probably eating a mayonnaise out of a jar with a spoon while you was watching this shit. But you up out of here anyway. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good, Liquid Sunshine. We done got the mayonnaise monster up out of here. But anyway, so yeah, so this was Christy Knowing. So she passed away. I think it was August. Was it hold on? Christy Knowings passed away. She passed away the 11th. So that was like 9 days ago, y'all. And nobody really said anything about her, right? Now, again, she didn't have as big of a repertoire as somebody like a Hayden Panettiere, but I mean, she still was a star that was on multiple things, again, such as Sesame Street while she was younger, and also being on All That, which was a show that a lot of us grew up on. So that's why I say, like, a lot of them, like, are really just doing this because they crave white acceptance, and they know that that gets white attention, like somebody had already said in the chat. Let's see here. Eating frozen mayo pops. You already know that motherfucker was probably washing that shit down with a LaCroix. Like, what the fuck is you doing in this chat if you think that I'm a clown? No, you clowning in your trailer park. Anyway, let's see here. Shout out to you, Liquid Sunshine. Appreciate the gifted 5 Cool Colas memberships. Very much appreciated, sis. Let's see here. And then let's see. Yeah, bro. Christy Knowings was on All That. Yep. Yeah. The trolls are really trying to roll up in here, aren't they? Somebody talking about stop making everything about race. Look at people. When Chadwick Boseman passed away, everybody from every race showed love. Shut your ass up. You probably a white supremacist too. You probably scratching headlights out your head while you watching this shit. You up out of here too. Anyway. So yeah, somebody said, bless that snow bunny soul. I don't know why that shit was funny. No, hadn't heard of her. A bit occupied with Jason Arday. Yes. And that's another thing as well. Like a lot of people are just ignoring the fact that there's like a lot of black deaths that are going on. Outside of like the one death that everybody keeps talking about over and over and over again, which is Hayden's. Now, again, that doesn't mean that two things can't happen at the same time, but notice how much of a spotlight, there is on her versus some of these black stars and common people who have passed away. I mean, and think about how quickly everybody done searched into, all that shit that was going on, but with Nolan Wales, I mean, we had to get multiple autopsies and, people was acting crazy and special about the whole foul play shit. So there was a lot of stuff going on with that too. Let's see here. White outrage is hilarious to me. I love your poster too. Appreciate you. We need more brothers like you on YouTube. Much appreciated. Yeah, I would love to see more of us as well. I know there's a lot of us who do good stuff though. You got your Torian Reigns. That's my brother. Shout out to him. Afro Elite. You got people like that. They're cool. Let's see. Love your content. Much appreciated. I heard she had health issues. I did too, but I also heard like she was on drugs as well. So she was also dealing with that because she had the opioids issue. I heard that there were some alcohol issues as well too. So I heard there was like multiple things going on. Like she was having shit kind of rough. I won't lie. Good. Hold the mayo, please. Exactly. Are you Boule? Oh, so we got another troll as well too talking about my Boule. That's a Sambo. That's either a Sambo pick me or that's one of them sock puppets who are trying to pretend like they're black. Let's see here. You're the fuck up out of here as well too. Someone said he mayonnaise man. Trolls have entered the chat. Yeah, they just came out the woodwork, didn't they? The avalanche just came up in this motherfucker. Anyway, somebody said, was Chadwick Boseman a Sambo? Hopefully not, because I liked him. I didn't hear about him doing anything Sambo-ish. Jonathan Benoit, I didn't hear shit about him doing anything that was like kind of eyebrow raising. Now, with a lot of things, I'm always gonna kind of bring out that if somebody is playing a certain role, sometimes that role is kind of the Sambo-ish because of the way that the character is being played. With T'Challa, I felt that he was kind of weak. So I mean, one could make that argument to say, oh, you played a character that they already threw salt on, so that's questionable. I can understand that argument, but outside of that, I didn't hear him saying crazy shit like in his personal life. But I don't know. The other thing too is, one of the things I think it was David Banner or somebody like this had called out was he did notice that Chadwick Boseman did hang around a lot of like white folks, and he said that one of the things, and I could see why he felt this way, I guess, but He basically said, like, you know, when kids see someone like Chadwick Boseman hanging out with a bunch of white people and you don't have like a lot of black friends surrounding you and stuff like that, they're not going to see that that's Chadwick Boseman. They're going to see that that's T'Challa or Black Panther. So there was that, but outside of that, nothing explicit where I'm like, yeah, that Negro was eating the buttermilk biscuits. Let's see here. Yeah, but rest in peace to him though. He was married to a sister. Yeah, he was. Yeah, so rest in peace to him. I don't really have anything bad to say about him. Like, not for real. Also, white people tend to have black characters as snow chasers. I don't like that. I don't like it either. I do not like it either. I never understand why many of us put these people on a pedestal. Here's the problem. Big Pipe. That's one hell of a name. Here's the thing, Big Pipe. You have to look at what is the categorization of that person within the community who is putting, you know, the dominant society on a pedestal. Is this a typical Sambo? Is this a tether? Is this a shea butter samba? Sometimes you have to look at these types of things because there's a profile. Or, you know, is this an old nigga? You know, they do that shit as well too. You have to sometimes look at the profile of the individual because that says a lot about why they're doing what they're doing, instead of us flatly saying the black community is, you know, having a problem with being on code. You know, sometimes you have to look at the actions of the person in the profile and put it together and say, they fit into this category because they exhibited this behavior and that behavior. So, and because a lot of people, they don't like to do labels and stuff like that. They like to just say, oh, it's just black people. No, we're not just delineating by ethnicity. We're delineating by actions as well, too. So we need to categorize like the type of person who's doing that thing. That's why earlier you heard me say the two types of people that I see doing the Hayden Panettiere is black shit more than anybody else are shea butter sambas and tethers. Sometimes they're one and the same. But my point is it's usually one of those two that have been doing this. I haven't been seeing so many like, you know, FBA men like that are on this tip, right? But like, you know, I've seen other people who have been kind of on that tip. Now, again, it's not all one in this, it's not all relative, but you get what I'm saying. Richly melanated forever, snow bunnies never. I like how you did an inverted version of Dr. Umar saying when he said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. That's what when you said that, that's what it reminded me of. But yeah, you know, it's but yes. Black is the priority. Let's see here. Do y'all think 50 Cent is a Sambo? He be doing some Sambo-ish shit sometimes. One thing that I will say is that 50 Cent is real big on making jokes about, you know, black people, which is cool. Like sometimes it's funny, you know, he's like a master troll, but notice he don't never disrespect people in the dominant society like that for real. He like, if anything, if you look at like the projects like Power, I mean, you can tell that there's a level of a white pedestalization, because look at the Tommy character, right? Tommy was like is basically unstoppable in Power. It's like this dude it didn't even feel like he's ever really in danger in his own damn show. It never felt like, oh my God, Tommy is about to go the fuck out. It felt like Tommy always had the upper hand every fucking time, you know. 50 kiss up to Eminem as well too. Yeah, like I'm not calling him a full on Sambo, but he's done little shit where I'm like, okay, 50, I'm seeing a pattern here, buddy. What the fuck is going on? Let's see here. Let's see. Shout out to you, real Blackmatic, 10 jewels. Much appreciated. All right. Somebody said, I may admittedly be a white man, but we need more people like you speaking out against racism. Appreciate you. Let's see here. That's why I respect Kanye West. He calls out the little hats. I don't respect Kanye West. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't respect him. Kanye West was Samboing. You know, he's like a Sambo contrarian. I don't like that type of thing. I like people who have a mind of their own. You know what I mean? I like people who, you know, will are going to think a little bit differently, but this different thinker shit has gone a little bit too far. You know, Kanye West has been doing a lot of Samboing that just simply can't be forgiven. I mean, the dude was, was wearing a Confederate flag jacket. He was talking about white lives matter. He was talking about slavery is a choice. Like, it's just so much shit that he was doing. I can't excuse it. I cannot excuse it. And he's not doing it in the name of black people. I mean, he basically abandoned like his audience and the people who actually gave a fuck about him and made him what he was in order to achieve what he felt was something bigger. So no, you ain't gonna hear me pedestalize Kanye West. He may do some shit where I'm like, okay, like, all right, I agree with this or that, but really for me, he's a damn broken clock. I'm gonna be straight with you. He definitely ain't no pro-black. I mean, think about it. He got with Kim Kardashian. That told you a lot right there. Let's see here. Yeah, but he go at everybody. Yeah, no. Kanye is a famous rebrander. He's like a rebrander contrarian Sambo. He shifts allegiances and alliances based on what he believes is going to serve him. Now, he made one stupid ass move when he went and he decided to try to go full right wing, and that fucked him up in some of his deals and stuff like that. But then he made a comeback later. Kanye West is an opportunist. He's not like trying to expose the truth. He's trying to do things that a contrarian would do so he can flip and flop to whatever side is best going to serve him. See, that's why, like, when he said this shit about the J people, a lot of black people were like, Kanye was on code. That's a chess move. That's a chess move. That's a chess move. Everybody was like on that chess move shit. There ain't no damn chess move. The motherfucker was being an idiot, and he lost money from doing that. And then he had to basically come back from that. Kanye is a damn Sambo contrarian, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's too much male alignment apology for me. He not pro-black. He's not pro-bag. He's a full poser and clout chaser. Well, he's not pro-black because he's with Kim. Like, that alone took him out the race. I liked Kanye when it was College Dropout. Kanye, everybody did. I'm gonna be real with you. Everybody did. And the reason why is because there was a level of relatability to Kanye West. College Dropout was his best album. Matter of fact, and a lot of you all probably agree with me when I say this, but Kanye West, literally every album all the way up to Yeezus, he got a little bit worse. After Yeezus, I just stopped following what the fuck he was doing. I just didn't even give a fuck. But College Dropout was his best album. But then literally every single thing that he did after that, it just got worse over time. Because then there was Late Registration. That was cool, but not as good as College Dropout. The Graduation, that was good, but not as good as the other two. Then there was 808 Heartbreaks. That was all right. To me, that was all right. After Say You Will, I was like, whatever. And then Yeezus, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, on Yeezus, the only good songs that I felt he had on Yeezus was Blood on the Leaves, and that was sampled really from Down for My Niggas, and then Send It Up. But outside of that, everything else was trash. Somebody said I stopped at Yeezus as well because it was trash. That was like a 3 out of 10 album. It was horrible. So you liked Unbound? It was okay. It was all right. Blood on the Leaves was like the star of the show, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Bush doesn't care about black people is the best thing it was. That was like when Kanye was in his hero phase. He was like, well, I'm going to say anti-hero phase because he was kind of acting like a lot of us who are pro-black. He was out there basically telling the truth about like the white supremacists. Like, he was just telling the truth. But like after that, he just took a turn. He just took a turn. Let's see here. Kanye been played out ever since Dark Twisted Fantasy. Yeah, it's after a while, I just stopped listening to his shit. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be super real. Let's see. Shout out to you, World Builder 64-bit. I follow you under my Black History Forever account. And yes, ninjas would cry over this white woman than someone they personally know, personally. I appreciate you. I'm going to check you out because I am really, if you got to add me on Instagram, I'm really behind on my messages. So my apologies if I have not gotten back to you if you did message me, because you may have. I'm still like trying to catch up though. That was definitely the end of Kanye. I said, what the fuck is this? When I heard the black skin head song. Yeah, he was at a certain point, he was just tripping. Let's see. True. Mike Myers' face was priceless. Doing things that are anti-black does not mean you never did anything pro-black. George or GW doesn't care about black people. Cost him just as much as slavery is a choice. He's done pro and anti-black things over the years. So I mean, like that's kind of like saying that, when I was in school, I did well on one test, but I fucked up all the others. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't balance the fuck out. Like, if I got an A on this test, but every other test I got a D or a F. So, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, after what, I mean, you got to keep the shit up. You have to continue with that mindset. You don't change it and flip flop, because that's how you make yourself not trustworthy. Not only that as well, too, it has to be a genuine thing. The nigga was like jumping sides left and right. It don't matter. It doesn't balance out. Like, it don't work like that. Let's see. Remember when he dropped Scoopity Poop? How could I forget? Have you gotten my message? What message did you send me? Did you say something earlier, bro? Did you say something? Let me see. Did you say something earlier? I'm back. What did I miss? Oh, yeah, we were talking about Hayden Panettiere basically, but we kind of got into other conversations because the conversation started going in other directions. But yeah, we were talking about Hayden Panettiere. Basically, what I was saying, bro, you can go back to the replay as well, is when with the Hayden Panettiere thing, it's okay to mourn her. It's okay to say that you want her to rest in peace and whatnot, and even if you liked her work, you can say that as well too. Nothing wrong with that. But the whole she's a part of the black community shit, that's where you lose me. That's basically what I said in a nutshell. And I went into other examples with it. Kanye ain't worth a damn. Exactly. Men that sell out, flip-flop, or seek male adjacent is not attractive on black men at all. Listen, you have to be able to stick to your guns if that's the thing you believe in. And you shouldn't allow like money and all these other things to change you to the point where you're going to end up doing something else or acting real crazy or weird or whatever the case is. Stick to your guns. I think with Kanye West, he flip-flopped, because he knew he was in bed with certain people and stuff like that. And he decided to create a contrarian brand out of it. Now, I get the whole mentally ill thing, and that plays a role into it and whatnot. But there is some Sambo shit that was going on with him as well, too. So, yeah, let's see here. 50 Jay-Z, nobody will ever say what Kanye said. Yeah, I mean, again, like when it comes to Kanye, the reality is that he's a flip-flopper. You can't trust a flip-flopper because, I mean, let's be real, y'all. Would you trust somebody who said one thing 1 minute and a different thing the next minute? Would you trust a rebrander, somebody who you know to be this one way and then just one day they end up being totally different? Would you trust them? I mean, just be honest. Like, think about like your friends, people you associate with. Think, what if it was somebody in business? You worked with them. They knew about, the stuff that was going on, the financials, all this other stuff. And then like you guys had rivals or people who are competitors or people who tried to stop what you were doing or hurt it. And then they end up working with them people. Would you fuck with them? Like, that's the thing that you have to ask. Let's see here. Yep. Appreciate you, Chiron. Appreciate you. Yep, I already saw. Like like I said, the mayonnaise is just flowing the hell in tonight, ain't it? Let's see here. The message about the Sambo question. Actually, the Sambo question. What was the Sambo question? Or did I answer it already? I don't know. What was the question? Hit me with it one more time. See, Kanye is like Scarlet Witch. Sometimes she's the hero, sometimes she's the villain. Pretending she is only one and not the other is insincere. Kanye is a flip-flopper, but just saying he's anti isn't fair. No, it just doesn't work like that. If you are a flip-flopper, you just simply can't be trusted. Like, that's why I said, like, look at it from the standpoint of your friends, your people you associate with, people you're cool with, or whatever the case is. Would you still want to fuck with them if they were a flip-flopper? The thing is that I have a philosophy when it comes to negativity and positivity. They don't balance each other out. It takes more muscles to smile than it does to frown. That's my philosophy. In other words, I mean, you could do a positive thing here or there, but the negative things that you do are going to weigh heavier, especially if you keep doing them in repetition. And Kanye West was doing that shit in repetition. And he was doing real heavy shit as well, too. The only thing that Kanye West could potentially be saved with, and really, to be honest with you, at this point, I think it's a little too late, is I think that some black people are doing this black insider spy hustle. Some of them are really kind of showing their Sambo asses right now because they're trying to get money so that later down the line they can do something cool for the community. But I think the days of that are kind of over. I think we might have gotten that almost in Michael Jackson. I think we might have almost got that in like a Prince. But outside of, some of these brothers that I just named, I just think that the days of that are over. So that's the way that I see it. I don't think they balance each other out. Let's see here. Bro, Kanye said he is gay and was sick of his cousin for years. I didn't hear that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't hear that, but I mean, hey, see, it's better to be hated for staying true to yourself than to be loved for trying to change and be someone you're not. Let's see here. I gotta watch the stream you did on that Tatum guy. That dude is the biggest sellout I've ever seen, and it's scary. Check out Jesse Lee Peterson. Like they're close, bro. Like Jesse Lee Peterson and Brandon Tatum, they're kind of neck and neck. I don't know. Jesse Lee Peterson wanted to have White History Month. That was some scary shit. I think that he might be the number one coon. I don't think I've ever seen any. He's like the number one Sambo. I've never seen anybody like him. Like he's just a different monster. How is this Caucasian lady a part of the black community? She hadn't produced anything that liberates black people. She's a thespian. That's it. Exactly. And that's why I keep saying it's cool to say rest in peace. It's cool to say you liked her work because she did have a lot of projects that even I liked. I've admitted that. But to say that she's some type of social justice warrior, or to make it seem that way, or infer that, or to infer she's part of the black community, Nope. You lost me. Jesse Lee Peterson is funny to me. Yeah, he's almost comical. Like he's almost a caricature. Like it's almost like I don't know if you ever seen when he did it was like an interview he did with Lord Jamar, and even Lord Jamar asked him like, "Is what you're doing right now? Is there like an act to this? Like, are you trying to like act? Like, are these really your thoughts? Or are you acting?" Because it's so strange that somebody would be that Sambo-ish. Like it's so out of this world. Like I've never seen anybody like that. So I don't know. Tatum is not as bad as him, in my opinion. Let's see. Jason Whitlock used to be a writer in my hometown. No one likes that dude. Yeah, nobody likes him now. So I could believe it, Charles. Let's see here. Jesse Lee Peterson used to be on Code in the early 90s. And yes, y'all, I already see I see the next straw. I already know. This is some mayonnaise in the tacos. I got it. Let's see here. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard he used to be on Code and he just switched up. That happens with a lot of them. Let's see. Charleston White is shine too. Charleston White is just he's like a troll who tries to get clout off of controversy. I mean, talk about flip-flopper. He's basically Kanye West without money. Like that's what Charleston White is. And he be getting his ass whooped and having all types of shit happen to him. Like I really wasn't fucking with what he was doing with Carmelo Anthony. I really didn't like that shit at all. So yeah, no. The Tatum guy seems like an actor too. LOL. His bias on the Nolan Wells case was crazy. I didn't hear his bias there, but I can only imagine how bad that shit was. I just heard him on that damn on that debate that he had on Jubilee with the Democrats, or the black liberals, and they were just they were lighting his ass up. Like, and I'm because I'm not a liberal myself, but I'm like, damn, like he was getting lit the fuck up. I don't know if y'all saw that shit. As a wrestling fan, I must say, is this wrestler racist is interesting. Yeah, and the reason why I do it, I'm going to tell you this, Charles. The reason why I do that series is because what I noticed, and this is something that wrestling with racism has brought up as well, too. What I've noticed is that when you are a kid, you don't know the difference between, this wrestler who is playing a role and this actor or person, like the person that they are, and the wrestler. So you conflate them into one. And when you see somebody portrayed as a hero, or somebody portrayed as a good guy or a good girl or beloved or that type of thing, you don't separate that from the fact that they could be racist or they could be a degenerate. They could be doing something that's horrible. Like some of them have done things to children. Some of them have been domestic abusers. Like people have done all types of stuff and they just don't want to bring this type of stuff to life. So for me, I'm like, why not do a series where we talk about some of the racist things that they've done? You know what I mean? Who calls? I used to be a wrestling fan as a kid, but you basically slapped me across the face now that I'm sniffing for the male racism. Exactly. Hey, you got to be able to snuff this shit out, yo. You got to. The thing is that like you know, a lot of people don't realize that they be doing a lot of underhanded shit and they have past that they try to remove. Because here's the other thing too. Like some people are like, well, that was in the past. This is that. Listen, one of the things that people need to understand when it comes to the past or the so-called past is people like to say that was my past and I'm different now. I hate that with people because I think that that's deceptive and manipulative. Part of being removed from your past is atoning from it. You know what I'm saying? And not just rebranding on people and then having that expectation and entitlement that people are just going to hold you to a different standard because you have mentally chosen to be a different person. It does not work like that, right? So, especially if you haven't atoned for it, especially if you haven't apologized for it. You know, there's no way that anybody should just let you be this new person when the shit that you've done has caused a lot of harm and a lot of problems for people, because that's really what a lot of them end up doing. They do racist shit in like, you know, in their past or in their present, they might be doing racist shit that you don't see. And then when you call it out, it's like, okay, well, that's not me. No, that's not the persona you're trying to portray so you don't lose dollars. That's really what it is. By the way, Cool Colas, I've been referencing your work for my doctoral study. Really good stuff concerning racism. Great. Yeah, I love to hear that. I'm glad that this is turning into an educational thing because that's really the whole point. See, I try to, you know, have a little fun with it, but the reality is I'm trying to give you all the game on some of the things that I've noticed just from using discernment and analysis. That is super important because that's the way that a lot of us can get on code, is that we open each other's eyes to some of the things that we see and that we kind of observe in patterns, right? We have to do that type of thing. Let's see here. Shout out to Big Stunner 95. Man, I don't want to play in the snow in real life, but Hayden was top 3 snow bunnies ever. Prime. Yo, that's funny. Prime, Hayden, Trish Stratus, and Topanga from Boy Meets World. Don't judge me, fam. LOL. Listen, and I've said this before. This is the when it comes to being pro-black. A lot of people are like, where do you draw the line? For me, I draw the line at like dating and marriage. I think that as a man, as a black man, you're going to see women that you find attractive no matter what race they are. You're going to see attractive white women. You're going to see attractive Asian women. You're going to see attractive Hispanic women. You're going to see attractive Indian women, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with saying these women were attractive. It just is what it is. I've talked about attractive. There's white women who are attractive before. I said Liv Morgan was cute. But the whole point is that it's different. There's a difference between I think this person is attractive or I find them to be cute or sexy, whatever the case is, versus I would actively date and marry this individual, because you're making a business decision at that point. You see what I'm saying? Like attraction is a normal thing that a man is going to feel towards a woman, like if they're heterosexual. Whereas, you know, dating and marrying is a choice to make a commitment to this individual and their family to become a union. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? There's a difference between the two. Let's see here. Cool Call Loss about accountability. Exactly. Yes, indeed. Thank you for supporting the Cool Call Loss channel. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for helping with this as well too. I appreciate that. I keep posting the question, is it not showing in the chat? I'm trying to see the thing. There's been a lot of comments. I'm not going to lie to you, family. You said you posted it. I don't know. I'm trying to go back to see what you said. You said the message is a Sambo question. It's one actually. I keep going back. I guess I don't see it. I don't know. Did I not? I'm assuming I didn't answer it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of comments in here. So let me see here. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but if you want, you can message me there, Shogun. Let's see here. Cool. The best predictor of the future, Kukolas, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And when they don't even try to change it, basically is impossible to say they changed it. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And I keep telling people that's just a thing in life in general. That's a life thing. When it comes to, people who say that they have changed or are not this person or whatever, if that past person was somebody who was harmful to you or harmful in general, and they became something different, they never atoned for it. They never showed you that. They never told you when they changed or what they're going to do, or again, apologized for what it is that they did in the past and they're now different, then they do not get the entitlement and right to just keep moving on and then you accept it. You do not have to accept that because you haven't shown me real accountability. You've just said that you've changed, but I have no proof of that. So same thing with the dominant society. You say that you have changed, but there's no proof of you changing. There's you just stopping doing what you're doing, but there's no atonement. There's nothing that shows that you're going to do something going forward that helps, the people or whoever it is that you hurt. You don't do those types of things. They're real accountability means not just owning the thing or changing up. It means also actually atoning for that thing. The problem with the dominant society is they believe these things, but they stop doing it because they know that it's going to harm their pockets. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my thing with that. But yeah, Big Stunner had me cracking up with that comment. But yeah, don't feel bad about finding those snow bunnies attractive, bro. Don't feel bad. Let's see here. I haven't watched you before, but I appreciate this conversation and the way you're facilitating it. Let's stay on code, brothers. Most definitely. I appreciate you too, by the way. Shout out to you. Let's see. Literally dealing with Gregory. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I talked about that in that video. I don't know if y'all saw that video where I talked about workplace racist white males you could deal with, but one of them was the Gregory. You're gonna want to check that out. See, exactly. I look but don't touch. I'm married, so I can only look anyway. Same here. Same here. But I mean, and that's my thing too. It's nothing wrong with seeing somebody who is of a different race attractive if you are a black man. Again, even if it's a white woman. I've told you all before, white women I thought were cute. I think I said something about Christina Hendricks was a very attractive white woman. But again, it's different. It's a difference between finding that person attractive and then just saying I'm actively going to try to date and marry this individual. I think that's different. Colas, have you heard about Ren Sinclair from NXT? She said some slick stuff about Bianca Belair's hair. I did not hear about Ren Sinclair. I'm going to have to look into that. So thank you for bringing that up. Matter of fact, I'm on my Mac. I'm gonna make a note of that since you brought that up. Ren Sinclair, Bianca Belair hair. That was kind of a tongue twister. Let's see this shit. Okay, I got it on my history, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look at it later. A cultural decision too. It is. It's a cultural decision as well too. And for me, I'll say this: I am married. I'm married to a foundational Black American woman. But if I wasn't, I would prefer to date an FBA woman, but I wouldn't write off kicking it with a Caribbean chick, and I wouldn't write off kicking it with an African chick either. But for me, they would have to be on code. So for me, anything that's Black, that's what I'm about. So if they're African, cool. They Caribbean, cool. FBA again would be the prioritization for me personally. But again, like I wouldn't go against that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a preference for me. So ethnicity wise, that would be a thing for me. But I can understand both sides to it. Somebody said, I don't want to do that. Okay. Or it shouldn't matter. I understand that too. I understand all sides to it. Let's see here. I dare Colas didn't watch Blacked. I don't understand what you just said. See, cry. Somebody said cry about it. Do we have another troll up in here? Somebody told you to cry about it, Oba? I think somebody's trying to tell you to cry about it. Yeah, I think we got another troll up in here. But anyway, their concept of morality is different than ours. Yep, exactly. My grandmother told me about interracial marriage being taboo. Her own brother was flagged in NYC in the 70s for it. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. I posted the question on Instagram. I don't want to date them. Most are crazy, vindictive, a lot of narcissistic traits. I'm good. I understand. I totally understand. Yo, what's up, my brother Colas? Been a minute. Yeah, been a minute. How you doing, mathematics? Appreciate you coming through. Yes, yeah, definitely. Still dropping the gems over here. You know, it's a troll. Ignore him, of course. Let's see. Creator of Static Shock married a white lady before he died. So now Milestone Comics, the premier urban comics company, is owned by a white lady. That's what I'm saying. That would be the thing that would be a fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you marry somebody and you pass away and that was your company and that's a big deal, then that company is no longer black owned. It's now white owned because you all become one in a way. That for me, that couldn't be a thing. I want my legacy and lineage to pass on to my queen. You know what I'm saying? If that were to happen, God forbid, of course. I would want that to be a thing, you know. I'm into this idea of the black family structure. So for me, like, even I think I've told y'all before, even with me and dating in the past, all of my girlfriends, specifically girlfriends, have been black women. And I would say all of them have been FBA, actually. Every last one of them has been FBA. And for me, like, even when I was young, and I think a lot of us were on this, but I wasn't necessarily pro-black when I was younger. I just tend to gravitate towards black women, or black girls when I was a kid, but black women when I got older, when I was in college. So I was more into them. I'm not saying that I haven't like tried then to try to talk to somebody of another race. I'm not saying that, but like, it's always landed at me dating black women. Now, you know, at where I'm at right now, I'm pro-black all day. But like when I was younger, for sure, it was a little bit more experimental. And I think a lot of us go through that because, you know, especially if you don't have like a family that kind of teaches you those values and stuff like that, you know, you just don't get that type of you have to come up with that, you know, mindset on your own to a certain extent. Shit, I'm sorry, I got a text message here. Yeah, I was trying to check this real quick. Anyway, honestly, I've dated a Latina in my day. Ashamed to say, my grandmother called her high yellow. Not high yellow. Shit. Yeah, I've never dated a Latina myself. Never dated a Latina. Never dated a Latina, never dated a white woman or anything like that. I just dated black women, and like I said, they've all been FBA. They've all been fully FBA. Let's see. I got another troll. Fuck them, bro. Fuck them. Let's see. Kukolas is a tether, like a guy not from America appropriating culture and being anti-black, because I'm not from America. I'm from the Caribbean, but I'm on code. No, bro. Like, so the thing is, a tether is somebody who does something anti-black to foundational black Americans while they are in America after having immigrated. I say immigrant after having immigrated. So you're not a tether if you just happen to be an immigrant, you know. You say you're Caribbean, which is cool. Yeah, and I can tell you're on code just from the way this conversation is going. But you know, there's a lot of like Africans and Caribbeans who come over, and you have to try to figure out who, you know, what they're like, and are they on code, or are they not? You have to figure that part out. But if they're not, then they will be classified as a tether. But tether has like a lot of actions to it as well too. It has to do with like vocal denigration of the community. You know, sometimes trying to put things into place politically, that would classify you as a tether. I already said bad rhetoric, but you know, those types of actions, doing things that are harmful to foundational black Americans, speaking bad about them, those are all things that constitute being a tether. If you're appropriating black culture, though, to your question, I would call that tetherism. And the reason why I would call that tetherism is because a lot of times appropriation comes with exploitation. It's not just, hey, I'm copying the style and that type of thing, and I just enjoy this type of thing. There's a difference between that and I would make exploitative content as if I am a foundational Black American and then profit from that and create things from it. Like, for example, earlier we were talking about Ebony Magazine. A lot of these magazines are like led by immigrants, and then they get in there and then they say or do disrespectful shit towards foundational Black Americans, or they're always exploiting the culture or degeneracy. That is tether shit, right? But simply enjoying it or appreciating it is not tether shit. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense? Let's see here. I love your content. Keep speaking up, Cole. Most definitely. You already know. Let's see. I've been called a tether because of one of my parents is Caribbean, but I love my Black peoples and I would like to see equity. You're not a tether for simply just being Caribbean or African or British or whatever. That does not make you a tether. I will never call any of you all tethers just for that, ever. The only way you'll get the label of a tether is if you do some anti-Black shit, especially towards a foundational Black American. Because here's the thing, you can tether against each other. Also, too, I'm going to be clear. I want to be very, very clear, too. You don't have to be Black to be a tether. You don't. You know, there's Hispanic tethers who are white Hispanics. There are white tethers. There's white tethers, right? You know, you got, you know, people who are from places like, let's say you have a Russian over here who's being, you know, racist. They can be racist and be a tether. You know, being a tether is not a classification based off of your ethnicity. It is based off of your behavior along with your ethnicity. You feel me? So it's basically that. Let's see. Byron Donalds is a tether. Yes, he is. He is a tether. Yeah, I enjoy the Black American culture. I ain't trying to exploit Black culture. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with enjoying it. Enjoying foundational Black American culture is not tether behavior. I will tell you that's not tether behavior. What is more so tether behavior is if you do anti-Black things. Like, so for example, if you were to, you know, let's say you had your own gossip site, you know, and you were exploiting Black culture and profiting from it and getting millions of people to basically enjoy the degeneracy. That's tether shit, you know, but like not like, hey, I like rap music. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ever since you came across my algorithm a few months ago, I have been questioning my attraction for snow bunnies, spice bunnies, and rice bunnies. Hey, listen. Like I said, the attraction / attractiveness thing is nothing wrong with that. Like I told you, there's women of other races I think are very attractive, but the active choice to do something like dating and marrying them, that's different. Now, for me, like it's Black women all day, right? But and I have a Black wife, but at the same time, like even if I wasn't married, my choice would want to be for me to date or marry somebody who is Black. Again, preferably FBA, but if they are Caribbean or if they are you know, like African and they are on code, then I'm all about it, you know? I'm all about it. I think somebody here I want to go back to a comment. Mr. DJ, you said that one of your parents is Caribbean. Is the other parent FBA? I'm just curious. Never. That would mean exploiting my father's culture, which is inherently my culture. Okay, so sounds like you're partially FBA. Then yeah, that means you're FBA. Cardi B isn't an Afro Latino. Like I've heard different sides. I've heard some people say she is. I've heard some people say that she isn't. You know, I'm not a fan of Cardi B. I'm not. I don't like her music, and she seems annoying. I have noticed that she's flip-flopped a bit, but as of late, it's been more so. She's been more on the respectful side of foundational Black Americans. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the reason why is because she knows she has a foundational Black American child. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's why it's like that. Let's see here. The one thing, send another chat, brother. I think you skipped it. LOL. What did you say? Out like y'all. Oh shit. You did say something. You're right. My bad. Let's see. Shout out to you. I'm glad that you said something. Travis Kelsey's ex, Kayla Nicole, said Black men need to do a better job protecting Black women. Should Black women that divest speak on Black men publicly? Because once they go pink, I don't care what they think. Yo, so hold up. Okay, so okay. So I do want to answer that question, but shout out to you again. But to answer your question, should black women that divest speak on black men publicly? If it's in a negative way, no. No, they should not. Um, so just like I talked about, there's a difference between being an immigrant. Let me let down your comment. There's a difference between being an immigrant and being a tether. There's a difference between interracial dating and swirling, right? So interracial dating is the simple act of two people of a different race dating. In the case of black people, someone who's black dating somebody who is not black. That's all it is. But with swirling, that is the active act of doing something that is disrespectful to black people that would make you either a bed buck or a bed wrench, if you know what I mean. So, with that being said, if you are going around and you are denigrating black men and you know you are laying up under a zaddy, that is some swirler shit. If you're simply dating a white man, you have at it. I'm not even gonna say nothing about you. You're just enjoying your white man. But if you are swirling, that is a different story. See, people need to understand. I'm not a judgmental person in the idea that I just talk about people just because of their profile and things like that. It's more about like what they do while they are that thing. See, people got this kind of entitlement shit where because they make a certain choice, they think they also can do this other thing. So because you interracially date, you now think you can swirl, or because you're an immigrant, you think you can be a tether. No. That's where you get talked about. That's the differentiation point for me. But no, they can't speak about us publicly. Really, no, really, we shouldn't be denigrated at all publicly by our own, but it does happen, and I can understand the whole calling out when bad shit does happen. I can understand that. But if you were interracially dating, you already made your choice. Why are you worried about the dating market of black men when you're actively not trying to? No, that's swirler shit. I'm not down with that. Let's see. Also, I think you missed one of my messages as well, too. Damn, like what is going on here? Y'all sending messages and I'm just missing this shit. Let's see here. What else did you guys say? Damn, what did I miss? Somebody say something earlier. Hold up. If I miss something, like I'll try to go back as much as I can. Yo, Colas, I got a question for you. What's your question, Bleach fan? I wish black people stop talking negatively against their race with other races. They don't talk about their race. They stick together. What they do is when they talk about each other, but they categorize it differently, so they don't do it under the heading of race itself. They try to I missed yours too. What the hell is going on? I mean, I'm trying to like a part of it is like it's hard for me to get to every comment, but I mean, if y'all are sending me shit and it's just not coming through, then that's a different problem. Let's see here. Your dad is from Alabama. The one thing about dating outside your race is the commitment. I feel like I couldn't go all the way, Yeah. Now, let's see here. Sent you another super chat. I think you skipped it. Yep. Okay. No, we already did that. She has 3 FBA kids. Yep. That's probably why she has the mentality that she has. She's more pro-black than Nicki Minaj. I have to agree with that, actually. Cardi is not an Afro anything. Venerating someone like her is not on code. Let's see. I'm not sure if you got my message. Cool Colas, but my dad is an American from Alabama and my mom is from St. Andrews. Got you. Okay, cool. Let's see. And yeah, I think I did hear you say yes, you are partially FBA. Let's see. They do it with class. I sent a super chat. Oh, why is it not showing up? What the hell? Shout out to you though for sending that, but no, I don't know why I don't see it. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you though. If it comes back up and I find it, I'm gonna shout you out for real though. But I'll just show that. I appreciate you. Shout out to you for sending the super chat. It's like the messages keep coming up too. Part of it is that you got these male trolls coming up in here. Let's see here. Liquid Sunshine, where are you getting that info? There are 6 different sources on Wiki that say that she's Afro Latino. Her dad is Dominican. Her mom is from Trinidad. What would you call her? Yeah, a lot of people have said different things, about her lineage and stuff like that. I've heard both. I've heard Afro. I thought she was, but there's some people who are saying that she isn't. I don't know. She does have FBA kids. That's my big thing, and I think that's the reason why she probably shows a little respect now, because I think that's part of the reason why that's a thing. But yeah, um, I think at this point I'm caught up on y'all super chat. So this is most likely, if I'm missing messages, it's probably because it's good. The chat is kind of scrolling and stuff like that, and y'all are saying a lot. We got a pretty live space tonight, y'all. So I think that's part of the reason why this is happening. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get to everything, but it's gonna be difficult, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's gonna be difficult. But going back though, yeah, like as far as the whole thing that I said about like talking negatively about black people, on social media and things like that. It's something that we shouldn't do if they're not doing anything that is deserving of that, I guess, discussion. But if they are, then there does need to be a discussion about the behavior. And the discussion needs to more so be education, and you're labeling what is happening. That's why for me, like, I'm big on labels so we can determine the behavior and the things that are actually happening. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, let's see here. Yeah, yep. See, you got more comments in here. So this person saying something about a black supremacist. That's you got more of these lice lords coming up in here. That's part of the reason why y'all shit is probably getting like all fucked up and stuff like that. Let's see here. She likes soul pole and she profits off of debauchery of the community. You get out of here with that. Erasure is very real. You're saying that's the Palinzog 658. Gotcha. Okay. Black supremacy cannot exist. We are not the dominant society. We can't even be racist. We can't even be racist. We don't have any type of systemic power to be racist. We just simply cannot be racist. We don't have any ability to impose that onto somebody. And to be honest, I don't think that we even have a desire to. That's just not us. Concerning WWE, WWF, it's at least part of humiliation ritual. Agreed. Ain't no such thing as black supremacy. It don't exist. It does not. That's some shit. I'm telling you. These folks in the dominant society, they love to come up with reverses of the shit that we call them out on. If it's racism, it's reverse racism. If it's, white fatigue, it's black fatigue. If it's white supremacy, it's black supremacy. They like to come up with opposites of the shit that we say. They play I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? They do that bullshit with us because they don't like to be called out on their shit. So they'll try to make like a false equivalent and more so a non-existent equivalent to the thing that we call them out on. It's like, you watching somebody beat the hell out of somebody and then you call them, abusive, and then they just call you that just for the fuck of it. That's what they're doing. We don't have power. We can be bigoted, but hate isn't in our ministry. Exactly. We can be bigoted, we can be prejudiced, we can be that type of thing, but not racist. That's what people are forgetting. There's no such thing as black supremacy in the system of white supremacy. Oh no, somebody trying to play victim. Okay, so we got okay, so you're up out of here too. So look at that. I take issue with Cardi B with not because of the ratchet behavior, but prior to her kids, she said egregious things about black women, calling black women. You know what? She did say that. I take that totally back. I take that back. She did say that. Thank you for saying that, Mr. DJ, because I forgot all about that. That was some foul ass shit. I think, I know she had said some things, but I couldn't remember what it was. So yeah, I take my statement back. That was some foul ass shit. Let's see here. Exactly, Cool Colas. They do the same thing with the whole woke thing. They tend to use reverse psychology to avoid guilt. Yeah, they try to repurpose definitions and all this other stuff. Black people can be prejudiced, but not racist. Exactly. They're racist against you. You call them out, then I'm the racist. Exactly. Let's see here. Shout out to Kyron Golston. Are you considered a sellout if you follow Donald Trump on Instagram, even though you did not vote for him? I'm going to say no. And the only reason why is because it would depend on the reason why you're following Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a racist. I do not like Donald Trump, and I will never be that person who says because I'm not a Democrat, I'm a conservative. That's not me. That ain't me. But um, some people follow people's accounts because they try to get information on them. I always support people who are human recorders. I always support people who are trying to gather information and try to understand things that people have said for credibility purposes, and also, excuse me, for good analysis. So if that would be the reason why, then I wouldn't call that some Sambo shit. But if you're like, yeah, Donald Trump, he's the man, then yeah, like I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is going on with that bullshit? Because you shouldn't really be, if you're pro-black, the focus shouldn't be on the political party or that person, but more so on the policies. And do the policies align with things that are going to happen for black people? That's the big thing. So let's see. We can be none. We are not hostile to other ethnicities when they live or come into our neighborhoods, but they are hostile towards foundational Black Americans. When historically we have never done anything to them. I agree 100%. And I think everybody can be prejudiced because that's just a human thing, but not racist. Racist is where I draw the line. I consider Donald Trump a mid-tier. Yep. The people above him are highest level. Yep. I watch him sometimes to see what his new game plan is. Will it affect black people? I can understand that. So let's see. Shogun, I disagree on the point about interracial relationships. I believe a black person can be on call while while having a lover that's different ethnically. It's about character. Okay, so wait, I guess I'm trying to understand. So are you disagreeing with, because you said ethnically? Are you speaking about race? Or are you speaking about the ethnicity? Because if you're saying like you can't, if you're saying you disagree with, a person can be on code and have a different ethnic lover, that's not a point I made. I even said myself, that if I was not married, I wouldn't be opposed to kicking it with a sister who was Caribbean or a sister was African, which for me would be ethnically different because I'm FBA myself. So that's why I said I didn't necessarily make that point. But if you're talking about racially, yeah, well, I guess we do disagree on that. Because like no, you can't be pro-black and be marrying somebody of another race. You just simply can't. You also can't be a vegan and eat a damn sausage. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a difference between being racial and racist. That's like wordplay. Like, no, you can be prejudiced or racist, and that's really the long and short of it. Let's see here. Facts. The cost of entry to affirm the dominant culture and to mobilize against us, even since the drugs went out into the communities. LOL, bro's missing my questions. Everybody keeps saying I'm missing their questions. Like, what? I mean, like, I'm trying to get to y'all as much as possible. Oh, cool. What do you think about those cookout guys, meat riding whites who call out other white racism? This is one of my questions that you didn't see. Okay, gotcha. What do I think about that? To me, that is Stockholm syndrome as well. This kind of like the Hayden Panettiere thing, like the shit we've been talking about all night. The reason why I say that is Stockholm syndrome shit is because craving white acceptance is easier for these individuals when the white person hasn't done anything that's super egregious. So as a result, they can cling on to somebody who people can't go back and say, look at their pedigree, they've done something super racist. So to me, I think it's no different than that. I think that, white people who call out racism are doing what a good, or as good as it gets, white person is supposed to do. They're supposed to call out their own people, because the thing is that I'm not asking for white elimination. That's not what I'm on. I think that we need white people who are going to help. Need is I don't even say need, but I would say that I think that it's good to have a white person who wants to replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice, but it's such a rarity. That's what I would say. But as far as the whole the meat writing thing from the black people who do it's Stockholm syndrome. It's desiring for white people to love you back because you loved on them. Like that's really what it is. Let's see here. I missed your Hayden Panettiere talk. Yep, you got to go back. You got to go back to the to the replay. You got to hit the replay, Kirk. Let's see here. Like, share, hype this stream. Much appreciated to you. I appreciate you doing that, Liquid Sunshine. Let's see here. Yeah, they are too eager for approval. Exactly. Life as a black man is just go out there, be great, expect a woman, get kids, and repeat. Okay. Man, you can't just dismiss people from their race because they say crazy shit. If her dad's Dominican, mom's Trinidadian, she's Afro-Latino, Stephen A. and Kanye still black, talking foul, don't magically race swap you. So I'm not making the argument that being a Sambo means your race is eliminated. I never made that argument. If you're talking to me, I made the argument that if you do that, you are Samboing, and there should be nothing wrong with calling a person such. Stephen A. and Kanye West have both done Sambo shit in repetition. So therefore, I would call them both Sambos. Stephen A. Smith, though, is so bad with his shit. I can't even think of one coach shit he's ever really done. Let's see here. Let's see. Hot take. Without white people, we still be living in the Stone Age. Yep, that's Sambo shit. Sambo shit. Sambo alert. Sambo alert. Oh yeah, cool. Colas. What's your take on the whole anime community? It's been talks for the longest that it's an anti-black rhetoric on the low. I think it's not on the low. I don't think the shit's on the low. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that it's on the high. I think that a lot of racist shit goes on in the anime community with the product itself and with the fandom. I don't think that it's a mystery, it's a secret. They try to hide it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Or they try to say, well, it's not this, it's that. Like, for example, I told you all before, I'm a Pokemon fan. Like I told you, I'm a true to the game blurred, and I'm proud of it. So I will never let anybody shame me for that. I am a Pokemon fan, and one of the characters or Pokemon in the game is Jinx. And for anybody who's ever seen Jinx before, Jinx looks like a black-faced woman. She looks like a mammy combined with a black-faced woman. And so people were trying to say it wasn't that. It was some type of Asian symbol or somebody like Asian god or something like that. Some people were trying to say that. You know, they'll try to play that game where it's like it's not this, it's that. You know, it's not a racist stereotype. It's not a caricature. But then with Pokemon, they also did something where it wasn't just that. They also had an incident where there was a gym leader and they gave her an apron, and she was a dark-skinned black woman, and she also had a scarf on. And then when you look at her occupation, it said that she was an archaeologist. And I'm like, so she's a straight-up mammy then. Like, I don't know any damn archaeologist that wears a fucking apron. So yeah, like they like to do little slick shit like that. And I also talked about the racism that was in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. So with a lot of them, because these are all Japanese created things, and anime is also that too. They do a lot of slick shit like that. So the anti-black rhetoric is almost like in your face, in my opinion. Let's see. Me, for example, I'm FBA, but I've always been attracted to Asian or Brazilian women, but I don't disrespect nor look down on black women. I never was attracted to white women in my life. Attracted to, I don't think there's anything wrong with attracted to. There's a difference between attracted to and dating. And there's also a difference between attracted to and marrying. You know what I'm saying? And even if that's your choice, knock yourself out. I just said that it's all about like the pro-black title. You know, if you are somebody who dates somebody who is black, that makes you pro-black. But you wouldn't be pro-black if you were to date outside of your race or marry. Now, here's the thing. You can be an ally to black society, but being pro-black, I think, is totally different. But no, I don't have, but my thing is I don't have no problems with that. But yeah, y'all got a lot of questions. I'm trying to get to everything, but it's going to be hard, y'all. I got to let y'all know it's going to be hard. Shout out to you, V the celebrity, for the 10 jewels. Shout out to you. Much appreciated. And I got some from Big Stunner again. Shout out to you, Big Stunner. I used to say Pam was finer than Gina in their primes, but once I found out Pam was dating a white actor in the 90s, high yellow Gina for the win. That's funny as hell. Listen, just physically, and all this other stuff, Pam was finer. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think when we were younger, like there was a colorism issue, and I think people who pretend like there isn't or wasn't a colorism issue are just full of shit, and they're acting obtuse. I'm just being real. And as a result, I think that, Pam was not shown to be as beautiful as Gina or as feminine as Gina was. So that made her less desirable. But physically, me personally, I think Pam's more attractive. Her booty is bigger too. So that's really what does it for me. But in general, she's just more attractive. Now, Tachina Arnold, I will say, like, if you look at how she is now, I have a lot of respect for her because she is on code, actually. She's one of the rare celebrities that has actually said a lot of on code stuff. So I can kind of fuck with Tachina Arnold because, she supported like, PBT, Jason Black, Rizza Islam. So I can get down with Tachina Arnold. So even if we're looking at like the actual actress, I can rock with her. I definitely can rock with her. A Black woman would never categorize herself, sister, and her community as roaches or anything else. Oh, she's talking about Cardi B. Yeah, that shit was fucked up. I agree. That was some foul ass shit. We were on the same page about that. Who calls? Can I be transparent with you about dating a Caucasian female? It's not negative, but I think it would contribute constructively to the conversation. Go ahead. What was the statement you were going to say? Tachina is more attractive, but Tisha was fine. I was not unattracted to Tisha Campbell. I was attracted to her, but I was more attracted to Tachina Arnold. For me, again, I'm a booty man, so the booty is what got me. I'm just gonna be honest. But in general, though, I just think facially and just overall, like she had a beautiful skin complexion. She has a pretty face. Like overall, she was still more attractive than Gina to me. Let's see here. Frederick Douglass's second wife was white, and he could not be pro-black as a result of that. He's done good things, but he cannot be pro-black, as a result. Even what's y'all's boy Umar? I don't even follow his stuff per se, but like even he actually said that, and he has a whole damn school that he still hasn't gotten up and running named after him, and he said that shit. Shout out to you, Liquid Sunshine. Much appreciated for the 5 jewels. Thank you so much. Let's see here. I'm trying to see, did I miss anything? Goku's hair resembles an afro. I told you all, like, the Saiyans are kind of similar to black people. I have a video on that, by the way. And I talk about the parallels between the two. What else do people got here? Let's see. Oh, we got more male trolls. Why does dude have a hatred for white people? That's a white dude who's trying to pretend to be black. Let's see here. Gina had no hips. She's thicker now because she's older, but like she really didn't have no hips like that for real when she was younger. I agree with you. And I think for me, because I'm a curve man, that probably already got me. But just in general, I just think Tachina Arnold is more attractive. But that again, that's just me. Everybody's a little different, but I do think that they both are beautiful. They both are beautiful black women. See, you're missing a massive chunk of history. Africans have had massive resources for thousands of years after the fall of Rome and before the transatlantic slave. Yeah, that dude was saying some Sambo shit. No, like, here's the thing. We don't know, like, when it comes to America was built by foundational Black American slave labor, to be honest with you. Because even if you go back to a lot of their history, they failed in a lot of like other countries and whatnot. So that myth about, we can't do this and that without them. Yeah, we could. We had civilizations. We had all types of shit popping, before that was a thing. There were Black people in the Americas before, Columbus and all them other whites and people like that came over and became colonizers. That's just a part of history. Let's see. Cool. What do you think of the Zeus channel? Do you think it's full of Sambas? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here. Mayo Metis, okay, is malignant and malevolent. I agree. Let's see, more trolls. I know. Let's see. I rather date an Indian woman than a black one. You see, one's loyal, the other one's not. What? You must be trolling. You were definitely trolling in this bitch. This man is basically saying, I'd rather have the damn tandoori chicken than the fried chicken. Like, okay, man, whatever. We don't need Martin Lawrence or Jamie Foxx. We need more Silas. What? That's not true. Women are women. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Let's see here. So I suggested her privilege and not fumble the bag because of me happened in South Florida between January of 2006 and May. You lifelords cannot exist without trolling us. That's a form of tethering. Yep, that's all it is, bro. That literally is all it is. They keep popping up in the chat because they just love to be in our mix and in our spaces. So they always have to say shit. Y'all don't even worry about it. Don't pay their asses no damn mind. Like, let them enjoy their mayonnaise in peace. Let's see here. Someone said, I guess I'm a black / dark brown ally since I'm attracted to Asian girls / women. So you're a black man because you said black / dark brown ally. Are you black? This the way you phrased it was kind of weird. That's why I'm asking. That's like comparing Beyonce to Kelly Rowland. I find Kelly Rowland to be more attractive. Believe it or not, I put them about on the same playing field. Like I may be crazy for this, but I think they're about on the same playing field. Beyonce has a nicer body, but Kelly Rowland to me is prettier, like facially. That's just my opinion, though. So I'll probably put them neck and neck because there's some people who they're like Beyonce's overrated. She's not that fine. She's this, she's that. I'm gonna be real with you all. Like some people, they'll say this person is overrated in looks or whatever the case is. I think that Beyonce is just straight up rated. I think she's as beautiful as people think she is. I don't think she's overrated. I think she's just beautiful. She's a beautiful foundational Black American woman. And really, so is Kelly Rowland. And that's just what it is. Hey, my wife came up in here. What's going on, baby? Let's see. I also believe in common sense. She sounds like you believe in Sambo in as well, too. Let's see here. Kelly was fine chocolate. Yes, she is. I agree. Yes, I'm Black Cool Cola. Sorry for being vague. It's all good. Because you said black / dark brown. I was like, what you mean? But like I said, you can be an ally, you just can't be pro-black. You can do fly things here or there, but just not pro-black. That's all. They're both pretty. I agree. Both beautiful Black women. Beautiful foundational Black American Black women. It's a good turnout tonight. I know. This conversation is rocking. I appreciate y'all. I like the way all this shit is going. Even the little lice trolls that are coming up in here are making the shit a little interesting because we know what the fuck you guys are doing. We know what you all are doing. You're trolling for attention and trying to get in our mix like you always do. I already know. Let's see here. Share hype, appreciate you. Let's see here. No, Colas, these trolls are S-tier entertainment. Exactly. We ain't thinking about their asses. Let's see here. All that hatred against white people. See, look at that. Another male troll. Boom, you up out of here too. Let's see. While men are men, not true. No one's like a real Black man. Not lice lords. Love it. Exactly. Yeah, the lice legion has come into the chat. That's what it is. The lice legion has come in. Let's see here. He said he tripping. Chicken and waffles over falafels any day. Yo, you can't say falafel. That's Arabic, bro. That's Arabic. We talking about Indian. You gotta say some shit like butter chicken or some shit. Let's see here. You have to be careful the women that you date. Their religious views can conflict with yours. Why are these male monsters popping up into the chat? Aren't they always in our mix? You already know. Let's see. Quick question. Have you ever thought about doing a video about colorism and classism in Black families? It would be interesting. That's a great question. I have thought about it. I know on the membership channel, I'll tell y'all this. On the memberships, I actually have talked about the colorism issue because Liquid Sunshine, you and I kind of chopped it up about the colorism thing. If you remember, I think you're still in here, so you probably remember we chopped it up about it. But when it comes to the colorism thing, I could do a video on it. But I'll tell y'all this with colorism, I think that it was definitely a bigger issue then than it is now. But I would do a breakdown on why I believe that. You know what I mean? The classism thing I haven't talked about so much, but definitely the colorism thing, I think would be good. Let's see here. Hayden was also in Malcolm in the Middle. I remember. Yeah, I know she was in a few different projects. Like I said, I distinctly remember her. I just think people are just milking like the tribute. It was cool again when it was like, hey, I hate that this happened to her. My condolences versus, she's part of the Black community. Come on, y'all. Like that's ridiculous. What are people saying? Okay, let me go back to Big Stunner's comment. Shout out to Big Stunner 95. You've definitely been doing your thing in this chat and definitely supporting. I appreciate it. I don't know if you've seen Kelly nowadays, but she definitely clears Beyonce post 2020. She got thicker and more toned. Beyonce in the 2000s was finer though. Listen, I agree with you. I actually, like I said, they're about neck and neck to me. Overall, they're neck and neck. If someone told me pick between the two, I probably would actually pick Kelly. Like they're both beautiful Black women. I'm attracted to both of them. But if I had to go, if somebody said pick one, I probably would pick Kelly. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think her skin tone alone just sells it. I mean, it's just beautiful, But yeah, I see why you feel that way. I do. I don't know if my message is going through, but I dated a white chick, ended because her pops threatened her life. She was big mad, and far as I know, hasn't spoke to the guy since. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that basically goes on with them. I've never dated a white woman before, so I don't really have any experiences to share when it comes to that. But yeah, like one of the things that I think a lot of people have to kind of wonder and worry about when you do date interracially, and this is one of the reasons why I always say, I recommend a Black person and two Black people dating each other, is because you don't know what their family is like. A lot of times these families can be very racist, and if you are creating a union with somebody, that's a family that you're tied to. You don't want to be tied to an actual racist. You want to be tied to somebody who is culturally compatible, and their family, is not going to mistreat you via racism. And you got to experience it pretty much everywhere you go. When you go to your job, you got to experience some form of racism. You go to the store, you might experience it. You go to the bank, you might experience it. You know what I'm saying? Like the last thing that you need to do is to make the active choice to have that potentially happen in your relationship. That's my thing about that. Let's see here. Kelly Rowland is fine as frog hair. my dog said frog hair. Ironically, Kate Mansi, actress, looks like her. I don't think I've heard of Kate Mansi. Let me look her up. Kate Mansi. Kate Mansi, you think she looks like Kelly Rowland? Like, I get the white thing, but to me, I don't see it. Let's pull up Kate Mansi for everybody. The person who my man is saying looks like Kelly Rowland but white. I want y'all to weigh in on this. Hold on 1 second. We got our Mayo Kelly Rowland over here. Hold on 1 second. Let's pull up Kate Mansi. Damn, that didn't work. Hold on 1 second, y'all. There's no way. I don't see it at all. I don't see it one damn bit. Hold on. I gotta pull this shit up because this is funny. Hold up. All right. So they're saying that she looks like who is this? Somebody said that she looks like Kelly Rowland. There's no way. There's no way in hell she looks like a white Kelly. She does not look like a mayonnaise Kelly Rowland. No. I don't see it. It's just me. I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't see it. But yeah, that's the they said who's Kelly Mancy? I think it's Kelly Mancy. Somebody said nope. Someone said a little. Someone said she's all right. My wife said I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. Like let me look closely. Like if someone say hell no. He said she looks below average. I ain't trying to roast her. I'm just it's like compared to Kelly Rowland, I don't see it at all. Not in that pic. There are other pics where she does. Okay. All right. Well, okay, let me try this. Hold on. Now you guys got me on a hunt now just to see where she might look like Kelly Rowland. I'm gonna try a different picture because maybe like you said that one didn't do justice. Hold on. Yo, y'all are kind of funny tonight. Hold on. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to pull up another one. I don't really know her, so I don't know what's a good one, but okay, here's another picture of her. Does she look like Kelly Rowland to you all? Like a white version of her? Do y'all see it? Do you all see it? Is it I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Yep. Kyron said nope. Nope. No, brother. Okay. Yep. We're on the same page then. Yep. Someone said more like the girl next door. A tiny bit. I could kind of see it, but nah, I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. I don't know what y'all seeing. I don't know. Maybe in the eyes. That one's a bit closer to the resemblance. Who is it? Somebody named Kate Mancy. That's what someone said when they were talking about Kelly Rowland. I don't know who Kate Mancy is. I never heard of her before. Maybe she was in something and I'm maybe like not registering, but yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of her. But anyway, going back, y'all are funny tonight. Man, let's see. Mansa Musa has always been attacked by white people online. Mathematics, they are raging. LOL. A close friend of mine who is black/Armenian dealt with closed door racism with his ex family's Thanksgiving 2022. A good portion of them didn't even speak to him. That doesn't surprise me, Charles. It doesn't, because when it comes to a lot of these families, you have to be careful when you're dating interracially, because a lot of them, like, they may be cool, they may or may not be cool, but they're like, family is another story. You don't know what you're going to deal with when you go to Thanksgiving, let alone knowing how they're cooking that fucking food. Like, are they petting Fido while they're fucking making the fucking potato salad with raisins in it? That's already a problem. Let's see, a butterscotch Kelly. Butterscotch is too dark. You can't give her that much credit. Let's see here. The face shape, maybe. Okay. So y'all are thinking maybe face shape and eyes. Okay. Someone told me that Drake is throwing up the white power symbol on the album cover where he has the MJ glove on. I haven't really seen it. Like, are you talking about that little okay looking symbol? Is that what you mean? I haven't really seen it, but it wouldn't shock me. I mean, didn't Drake do blackface or some shit before? Let's see here. Big Stunner came on. Shout out to you again, Big Stunner. I appreciate you tonight. I do. This is getting really good. Got no problem supporting you, brother. I enjoy the content way more than that cucked beta left wing Hershey walrus named FD Signifier. He was frying this shit out of FD Signifier. He said this dude looked like a walrus. Yo, that's funny. Oh shit. Oh, that's funny as hell. Drake has some good songs, but overall he is not my type when it comes to the rappers. I like Drake's music, but like to people's points, he has been doing some Sambo shit. I do like his music though. His music is cool. I don't listen to every song by him, but every now and again I'll hear something like, hey, that was kind of a hit. I kind of like that. I'm telling you guys, I like Charlie Baltimore. Yes, I know she's a chick from Philly, but something about her. I forgot what Charlie Baltimore looks like. I have to see her again. I forgot what she looks like. There's a lot of Afro Arabs though. Is Drake black? So I've been hearing this discussion a lot. He's black in the sense that he's like racially black. The FBA thing, I think he's ethnically Canadian. I think that factually he has a father who has foundational Black American lineage. So some may say because of that he's FBA, but culturally he's really Canadian, to be quite honest. I don't know what bro is. Yeah, it's like hard to, you know what I mean? Because like I would say he's culturally Canadian, but he's black in the fact that he's half and half, but he's culturally Canadian if we're talking about ethnicity. Let's see here. Co-signing Big Stunner Ditto. Appreciate you, Inspirational Truth. A big shout out to you on the support here. Definitely. But yeah, going back to what somebody said, they not like us. Yes, he said Aubrey is not black. Listen, I think that a lot of people, when they say black, they think of FBA. And I think if we were looking at that comparison, I think that it could be argued that he's not, because of the fact that he's culturally Canadian. Let me see here. Drake is mixed race. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I thought he was Spanish because of the episode of Atlanta. No, he ain't Spanish. No. But yeah, this has been an interesting conversation, y'all. We came in here talking about damn Hayden Panettiere and shit, and we ended up talking about all types of things. Y'all was talking about Charlie Baltimore and the Mayo Kelly Rowland and all types of shit. But yeah, let's see here. I'm trying to make sure I just got to everything that I wanted to cover. Let me see. The fact that the white power symbol is the same sign as the Kappas is crazy work. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it does look kind of similar to that. Let's see here. White people are so entitled that they think that being a victim is a privilege, and the Nolan Wells case is a good example of that. Yeah, the thing about the Nolan Wells thing is, and because there were a lot of people, and I saw this while I was kind of on a YouTube break. A lot of people were wanting me to weigh in on what I thought about that, because I had talked in a video previously about how you can't trust a lot of your white friends when you're the only black person and you're going over their crib and stuff like that. And then the Nolan Wells thing happened literally like a week or two, I think, after I did that video, right? And now we're seeing all of these things transpire, and there's so many lessons that black people can just learn from what happened with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I hate these mayo eating lice heads. The thing is that my dislike, and I told you all where I draw the line with that. I don't dislike white people. I dislike white supremacy. But if you are a white person practicing white supremacy, I do not like you. The problem is there are too many that are doing it. And when I say too many, it's like above 90 something fucking percent. So I think that's my problem. That's where I draw the line. Kolas, Michael's biopic is premiering on Stars. I did not know that. The thing is that with that movie, I wonder what direction they're going to go in with that. I do. I think that they kind of did low hanging fruit, with the movie, because Joe Jackson was just like the target, you know what I'm saying? But I think that I would like to see them talk more about his issues with Sony and some of those other white stars he was dealing with and all this other stuff. You grifted. He probably said that in a little bitch voice. You're gonna get your ass up out of here. Anyway, let's see. He is a Jewish man with black ancestry. He's Canadian. Yeah, Drake's culturally Canadian. He's culturally Canadian. Let's see here. But yeah, no. With the Michael movie, excuse me. I enjoyed the first one. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I enjoyed the first one, but I do think that they, like, them villainizing Joe Jackson was low hanging fruit. Like, I understand it, but at the same time, I think that they did that because, again, like, for that movie, they kind of laid off all of the issues that he had while he was in the industry, because Those are really Michael's biggest ops, not necessarily his daddy. From what I could tell. Let's see. I prefer American Dream any day. Listen, y'all, I've been on here for a while. I am going to have to get off soon. I thought this was an excellent conversation. We kind of went all over the place at a certain point, but for what it's worth, I think we talked about a lot of really cool stuff. I appreciate you all being so live tonight and really coming in to have a good conversation. I think this has been great and needed. One of the things that I want to say before I get up out of here, because there's a couple things I need to take care of. I am having a course on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Built by Us, A History of Black Wall Streets. If you really would like to attend, then you can go ahead and email me. And I think I put my email in the chat for you all. You can go to the beginning, or for those of you all who just came in and you don't feel like doing that here, you can go ahead and shoot me an email. Shoot it to my business email. And there you go. If you want to get signed up, hit me up and I can get you together. Other than that, I got some content that's going to be coming out. Look forward to the Is This Wrestler Racist video tomorrow, because it will be hitting, and I'll have other stuff as well too that'll be coming out. Other than that, y'all, I hope y'all have a good night. This was a great conversation, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.